It is Monday, so it's time for another edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew. Meghan, Triplett, John Roser, so much to get to. We had a jam-packed weekend. Roser, let's stay in college basketball because so much happened, so much went down in these last 4 days, and there's more games today on the women's side of things, but we got to talk about the Memphis Tigers because they go into the NCAA tournament, they win the first game, they lose to Gonzaga, okay? In what was a very close game. They had a great first half, ran out of gas, but you lose to the number one team in the country, the number one offense in the country. When you look at the season and how it went, everything combined together, what would you grade this season for the Memphis Tigers?
Oh, this season, it's an F. Going into the season, the expectations were, no doubt you make the second weekend of the tournament. You saw everything you had. You're a preseason, ranked like number 10 in the country. So you're supposed to be one of the 16 best teams. But, look, it doesn't always go that way. Now, how they regrouped and rallied from where they were earlier in the year, look, they did a fantastic job because I didn't think they were going to be able to save their season, but they did. And as you said, they made the tournament and they won a game and then they lost to Gonzaga. But from when we started the season to what we thought they were going to be and what they should be, what they should have been, it's an F. So
you're giving the whole look, I agree with you in the sense of, if you ask me, I agree with you in the sense of August. It's just like what you get on like your semester, right? If you ask me midterm, I think it would have been an F, how it happened. But how you regroup is your average. I'm talking about the average of the whole entire semester, the whole entire season. I would give it a C.
Gosh.
I'll give it. Look, I agree with you. No, Roser, I agree with you. From where we started in August, we thought expectations were high. We're talking about Final Four at least. Minimum Final Four. We're also talking about winning your conference. Now, when you look at the midterm part of it, we saw the struggles. We saw the worries. Like, we might not get there. And the fact that we did get to the tournament, you had a great game against Boise State. You had a game against Gonzaga where you had 5 turnovers. We have been talking about turnovers with the Tigers team the entire season. They played a great basketball game, just ran out of gas against the number one team.
What are you saying? Congratulations, you didn't throw the ball.
I'm just giving it you pass. You got a C plus. You pass.
You know what? I could
better.
I could get on board with that, except I don't know. There's a team that's in their same conference who's in the Sweet 16 who lost their 2 best players during the season, and they're in the Sweet 16.
No, and that you beat twice in the regular season. Some things don't make sense, but they didn't play Gonzaga.
Well, whose fault is that?
Now, if you had taken care of business where your seating would have been, your seating could have been better. I agree with you on that, but you're still sticking with your F. I'm gonna stick with my C plus. I still think it's something to celebrate in the sense of you came a mighty long way. It was rough, and you figured it out. You came a mighty long way. Roser, you got to the tournament. A lot of teams didn't get to the tournament. They were sitting at home watching.
Yeah, I know. There's 900 million teams in college basketball.
Okay. All right. Let's stay in college basketball, though, and give me your favorite storyline also from the weekend, other than the Tigers.
The North Carolina Baylor game was it's absurd on all levels.
Yeah.
The officiating was terrible. Guys took great shots and missed them. Then guys took horrible shots and made them. Every level of that North Carolina Baylor game was ridiculous. But that is one I will never forget. That game. Brady Manick gets ejected with 10 minutes to go. Baylor's up North Carolina's up 25, and then he gets ejected, and they just fall apart. And Baylor comes all the way back. And as someone who had Baylor minus 5.5. I thought Baylor for sure had it in overtime, but congratulations to North Carolina, because I did not expect them to rally like that once it went to overtime.
I don't think anybody did.
The other one's Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
The other one's Tennessee. Rick Ball, Look, he lost a couple of years ago at Tennessee. He made the Sweet 16, and then he lost to Carson Edwards and his Purdue team. But for the most part, this dude gets knocked out of the first weekend of the tournament. I mean, every single this man had Kevin Durant and couldn't make the Sweet 16. He's made one Final Four in about like 90 years of coaching Division I basketball. Like,
yeah. Roser,
I don't know. I mean, it's not like you're going to make a coaching change or anything because the guy wins a bunch, but like, I mean, it really is. It's every single year.
Look, I agree with you. The Baylor North Carolina game was crazy. North Carolina, it felt like they were falling hard, but they were able to figure it out. And their season started off rough too. And now they're going to the Sweet 16. Crazy storyline there. And with Tennessee, of all the SEC schools, if I told you that Arkansas is going to the Sweet 16, I think you'd have been like, what? At the beginning of the week, you would have seen Tennessee lose, Auburn lose, Kentucky lose. No one would have thought that. Nobody. Would you thought Arkansas? Would you?
I had Auburn losing in the second round, but I had them losing to USC.
Did you have Arkansas going to the Sweet 16?
Yeah.
You did?
I believe I did, yeah.
I was shocked by that. I was shocked. Of all the SEC schools,
they're a 4 seed. They're supposed to make the Sweet 16.
I still would. I guess out of all the SEC teams that are left, I would have never thought.
I'm with you on Arkansas. Like I watched them play, and I'm like, oh my god, what are they doing half the time? Like I don't even. Like, right? They're just like running around. Like I have no idea what Arkansas is doing half the time.
Okay, look, I gotta give my favorite storyline. It's on the women's side of things. A big upset. It was a lot of big upsets. Baylor lost to South Dakota. But another big one was Iowa losing to Creighton. Caitlin Clark, candidate for Play of the Year. This was supposed to be Iowa's year, but it's how they lost. They lost to Creighton. And Lauren Jensen, player on Creighton, she played for Iowa last year, didn't get a lot of playing time. She transfers to Creighton. She scored 9 of the last 10 points. And get this, Roser, hit the dagger 3 to send her team into the Sweet 16, 12 seconds left. Going up against her former team, she only scored 23 points the whole entire season with Iowa. She had 19 on last night. And that right there, storylines don't happen like that. Storylines do not happen like that. That was a moment. That's
the ultimate revenge. Like that's what you dream about. That's what you dream about.
Shout out to her. I've been waiting for revenge like that, and she got it. I've been waiting for whether it be dating with exes, jobs, like that's the revenge that I hope to one day I strive to have. I really do. Over in the NFL, really quickly, the biggest news over there: Deshaun Watson. He signs with the Cleveland Browns, $230 million,
all guaranteed.
This is being highly criticized. He still has the civil lawsuits that we are still waiting for answers, and I know they're still investigating that. But what's your stance on seeing Deshaun Watson not just sign for the Browns, but get that much money for the Browns for someone with a lot of off the field things that he's going through?
Well, the structuring of the contract is pretty disgusting. So, I mean, the expectations are he's going to be suspended for the whole year by the NFL, and for the Cleveland Browns to give him the $230 million guaranteed, which whatever. I mean, he's an amazing quarterback. He's one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the entire league, and sitting here wearing a 49ers toboggan, like we were going to make the trade for him until all the stuff happened, and then we backed out. For his base salary to be $1 million next year, just so, hey, we're going to give you $230 million guaranteed, but your base salary, should you get suspended, and that's what we expect you will be suspended, it's only going to be $1 million. So you're only going to lose $1 million of that. That's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, it's just, you're trying to wrap your head around this. You're still asking for answers. I know he's a great
Colin Kaepernick can't get a job in the league, but whatever.
I don't understand it and I don't get it. And I
don't even think Colin Kaepernick's good, but I'm just saying, like, he's good enough to, I mean, there are a bunch of bad starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, the Browns have a lot of questions they need to answer. Deshaun Watson will eventually hear from him, but it's a little mind-boggling. It's a little mind-boggling. And thankfully, that's all the time we have because I have nothing else more to say about that.
Fair enough.